Let's talk about storyboarding and shot listing. What's the difference between a storyboard and a shot list? A storyboard is when you draw out each of the individual scenes that you might want to shoot or that you might want to appear in the final product of your video. The basic format for it is you have a bunch of blocks with your information in terms of the shots you take, timestamps, whatever information you need to inform how you're going to shoot to get to that final picture that you're looking for. That's basically how a storyboard works. You can choose to do it on paper, or you can, like me, do it digitally. There's literally no formula to doing it. It's basically note taking in the best way that works for you. Is similarly to a storyboard. It's basically taking notes of all the shots that you may want to take on a particular shoot. So where it differs from a storyboard is that you may not necessarily draw out all the different shots. You may not necessarily draw out all the different shots that you're going to take. Maybe focus on what shots that you may want to include, and based on the music as well, maybe there's a beat drop, maybe there's a switch up. Those are the shots that you just basically take a note of. A storyboard, at least in my experience, you use when you have, I don't want to say intimate, you use a storyboard where you are familiar with the location that you're shooting at. By familiar, I mean that you have been to the location, you know it well enough to know what takes place where. If it's indoors, you know where all the particular vantage points are, where all the props are. If it's outdoors, you know which direction the sun faces, so on and so forth. Storyboard works best when you know the location best. That, or if you are working on a higher budget, if you are going to be able to build your own set, then that's when you might want to opt for a storyboard, So it doesn't work as well when you're working, let's say, if you were shooting in a different city that you're not familiar with, and you try to draw a storyboard, you'll find oftentimes, and I'm speaking from experience, where I've had to scrap total complete storyboards where it's like, it is not the way I imagined it. So when you are working in a location that you're not familiar with, I wouldn't recommend doing a storyboard unless you're going to be able to build your own set. Because what oftentimes happens is, even if you can Google search or get pictures of where you are shooting, oftentimes you'll find that whatever you may conceptualize in your head might not translate to the reality of what's happening at that particular location. So when that's the case, you may rather opt to use a shot list. So a shot list is not necessarily dependent on the location. It's not necessarily dependent on the setting, because, like I said, you aren't familiar with the location. You might be in a situation where you'll only be able to decide what you're going to shoot when you get to that location on the shoot day. So it helps to do a shot list. Yeah. I'll give you an example of a storyboard that I did. This is a music video I shot a little while back with an artist named Blackverse. So, as I said, when you are doing a storyboard, you need to be familiar with the location. As such, I knew the location from back to front. I knew the location pretty well in terms of knowing what I want to shoot where, and then knowing what transitions, what effects. I basically could see what the final product would look like based on the storyboard that I had done. So basically what you do with the storyboard, you draw out all the scenes in terms of how you want it to look. An additional thing that you may want to do, which helps, is actually edit it, stitch it together in a video in terms of seeing how it will look. I forgot what the name is. What doesn't matter. Stitch it together in your video editor. Put the music track to it. If you draw your storyboard on paper, take pictures, upload it to your computer, stitch it together, see how it looks. See if you can add the transitions that you might have in mind initially. See how it looks, and then yeah, this is an example of a storyboard for the music video Zonilanda. Check it out.
Adam and Eve gave me life against the odds. Roll the dice, I'm the son of God. From a slave to the general, emperor now. Black verse on the throne, I hope you see me now. I've been sent by the one who lives above the sky, the almighty high. He still lives within, soul search your love. But you find real niggas know that's evil doers go to hell, now the jig is up. Heaven is my home, that's why I leveled up. They know we up, and when we die, God wakes us up. Sunday to me Kani mamele Sunday to me Inga bin sebe nisbasile Nizonilanda Nizonilanda. Let me show you how to live a better way through God. Let me tell you what you need to hear to share the word. Let him take over your life and he will change your world. Need me, all you gotta do is shout. This is a walk, we gotta walk. Give me your trust, that's all I need.
So yeah, that's basically it. Shotlist versus storyboard. When to use a shotlist, when to use a storyboard, maybe when to use both. You have the tool. So yeah, man, happy shooting, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.